bad tomorrow. What's bad today is good tomorrow because we want it. We've decided we want it, and so therefore it's good.
Well, you can see that when they, when they talk about the egg.
Yeah.
One day it's horrible, and then the next day, it's not so bad.
Yeah. Or bacon grease, as Sheldon Cooper's mom would say on The Big Bang Theory. I cook everything in bacon grease. And the guy says, well, isn't that bad for your health? No, they're always changing their mind.
Exactly. It's settled.
Anyway, guys, we got to go to our first break. When we come back, we're going to get into a little bit of stuff here about the Bruce Jenner interview over the weekend. I want to bring something up to you and point it out to you that is very, very clear. Once again, a very clear example of, one, what leftist tolerance really is, and two, what the agenda is really about. So we'll be back right here.
Leftist tolerance?
I am sick and tired.
Oh, no.
We should work that into as one of our bumpers or something. Anyway, we got to go to break. When we come back, we'll continue with the show. Stay with us right here on the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away. You can catch all our show archives at theconservativesyndicate.net. The Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Prices are for base buildings only. May not be available in some areas. Attention business owners, do you want a stimulus package that really works? Before you spend thousands of dollars more than you should on your next building project, listen to this. General Steel has a stimulus package designed to help you save as much as half the cost of conventional construction on your next building. As much as half. That's right, General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $30,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. With the projected demand for steel in Japan and China, prices may be skyrocketing.
800-280-3454. 800-280-3454. 800-280-3454.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted financial expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known and syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live, every Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. With Bob, you'll get the right information at the right time, firsthand, from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Bob airs live every Monday through Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on blogtalkradio.com/Robert Cardoso Live, or you can choose any one of his archive shows at blogtalkradio.com/Robert Cardoso Live. That's blogtalkradio.com/Robert Cardoso Live. For complete and honest commentary on politics, finances, and culture, check Bob out. You'll be glad you did. Okay, hey, we're back right here on the Conservative Syndicate. Again, I'm your host, John Matthews, and with me I have Joe Hakos from Troy Report, my co-host, and let's get into some of the stuff that's going on out there over the weekend. Sometimes weekends in this country, news-wise, is extremely boring, but you can never. I think you can never underestimate the power of the Sunday talk circuit. Some of the stuff that comes out on Sundays is just fascinating to me sometimes, the way they plant everything, the way they plan it, the way it's delivered, and all the other stuff out there, For instance, one of the things I find really fascinating, Donna Brazil, who is one of the regular panel members on This Week with George Stephanopoulos, everybody talks about her as some type of Democratic strategist. That's her title. That's the little thing that pops up underneath her name. Donna Brazil, Democratic strategist. What they don't tell you is she's the vice chairman of the DNC.
Well, that would be a strategist. I mean, she has to strategize for the Democratic Party.
But what it does by
level, though.
Yeah, but by not naming her actual title, she is the vice chairman of the DNC, working as a strategist.
So you think you're not being quite honest, John? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I think it makes it easier to discredit her without any real, damage if you don't tie her directly to the party. It's basically, well, I'm a strategist, but, that's just my opinion. This is what I think, when in fact she's one of the she's one of the people that helped shape the platform. The anti-Christian platform, the anti-Jewish platform, that kind of stuff. But having said that, I wanted to get that out there because Saturday morning I happened to have been once again held captive in my bed. I either had to get up and I didn't feel like it, or I had to listen to what my wife put on the TV. And she had Good Morning America up on Saturday morning. And the Good Morning America Saturday news show is not a whole lot different than the Good Morning America during the week, except that there's even less news and more paparazzi. It's more about what Lady Gaga's wearing or not wearing, or who Kim Kardashian is, what she's wearing or not wearing, that kind of stuff. And one of the things that they had was the Bruce Jenner interview with Diane Sawyer. I guess he granted Diane Sawyer an exclusive interview on his transformation, his transgendering transformation, whatever you want to call it. He's in the process, I guess, or if he hasn't done it already, in the process of becoming physically a woman. I guess he's going to go through the whole transplant thing, But it was it was a really, in my opinion, what I saw. What it was about like a 15-minute opening segment, breaking news. Okay.
That's breaking news?
All right, yeah. Bruce Jenner. I don't know if the breaking news is that Bruce Jenner was talking about being transgender, or the breaking news was Diane Sawyer landed yet another interview. It was one of those two things. I never really tried to figure it out. But the point being is that during the course of the interview, Jenner talks about the fact that he has no homosexual drive. It's that he said, I've never been with a man. I've always been with a woman. I love women. I'm not really into men. He just feels that he's a woman, He said he talked about I hate using the phrase a woman trapped in a man's body. It's just, he says, this is just who I am. Okay, that kind of thing. So they're going on and on about that. And I'm just sitting there as I'm listening to this going, what a sad case of, disorganized thinking. He talked about,
as my wife put it, he's a tortured soul.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great phrase. And, he talked about contemplating suicide and everything, and talked about how the fact that he hopes to be somewhat of a spokesperson to all the other transgenders that go through this kind of, process where they don't know from one day to the next whether they want to continue living. They know they're a woman, but for some reason they want to kill themselves over it. I guess that's the kind of the thought. You can't live with the idea that you're genetically not lined up with what your psyche tells you are. And I guess, I need all this stuff to be happy, but in the meantime, I'm contemplating suicide. That kind of stuff really kind of points to the essence of the problem. And it also points very much to why the homosexual agenda is so hell-bent on acceptance. That is the real agenda of the homosexual agenda, is accepting them on their terms, and in accepting them, never voicing any opposition to what it is they do. It's a pat them on the back or pat them on the butt, depending on whether you're in a gay bar or not, I guess, and just telling them, hey, it's all right, dude, or it's all right, gal, that's fine. Who you are is who you are, and you're a hero. His wife, his ex-wife, what's her name? Kris Jenner? Was it Kris Jenner? Is that who he was married to?
I am not an expert at any of this.
Well, one of the Kardashian people, and she come out and said that she thought Bruce Jenner was her hero because he's taken this, he's coming out finally, he's coming out and all that stuff. So that's all the standard fare. That's the standard liberal propaganda fare. That's the way they play this stuff. What happened though was kind of dropped a little bit of a bombshell during the course of the interview. He says, for all intents and purposes, I'm a woman. Diane Sawyer made note of the fact that President Barack Obama is the first person, or the first president at least, to actually recognize transgenders. He's the first one to actually use the phrase transgendered. And Jenner responded to her by saying he actually was the first one to say the actual word transgendered. I will certainly give him credit for that. But
he's
not
the first one to ever say that word?
Well, the first president to say that. I think that was the inference was he was the first one to recognize transgender as part of the homosexual
wow,
movement.
You can put that down in presidential history. You know, I think it was like, what was it, Harding or one of that or maybe it was McKinley. He got stuck in the bathtub at the White House because he was so rotund.
Well, I understand. I think some people think that, what was his name? Garfield? Maybe it was Garfield. I don't
Could
remember.
have been.
Buchanan. Buchanan was a cross-dresser. Okay. Yeah, there's actually claims of that he's like one of the only single presidents or something like that. I guess he was, and then from him descended, of course, Herbert Hoover.
Oh, yeah. And J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah, J. Edgar Hoover. Yeah, okay, one of those guys.
Not Herbert. Yeah. It was the FBI. The guy that ran the FBI.
Anyway, going back to what Jenner said here.
Sorry.
He says he was actually the first one to say the actual word transgendered. I will certainly give him credit for that. But not to get political, I've just never been a big fan. I'm more on the conservative side. And Sawyer asked him, are you a Republican? And Jenner said, yeah. Is that a bad thing?
Well, it's a bad thing. I believe in the Constitution.
Yeah, I believe in the Constitution. And apparently it says it stunned the open-minded journalist. Right. I love that phrase, huh? The presumably open-minded journalist, and she was stunned. The only thing that would have been better if the woman, Robin, what's her name? Robin, the one on Good Morning America during the week, the one that interviewed Barack Obama on his evolution on homosexual marriage, and she herself is gay. I don't remember her name, Robert Givens or Robert Gilbert or Robert somebody. I'll have to look the name up during the break. But anyway, that would have been the only thing that would have made that better. But apparently Sawyer, a pin could have dropped. It was like almost she had a moment of sobriety. And anyway, the point I want to make of this is that what immediately happened after that, as soon as I heard this, I went, I've got to get up, I've got to go check the internet, and I've got to see the response out there by the great liberal community that is tolerant of everybody, accepts everybody for who they are, and especially I want to see what the LGBT community has to say about the fact that Bruce Jenner not only said he was a conservative and a Republican, but also said he was a Christian somewhere in the conversation. Okay, and as a Christian, he's going to be the poster boy / girl for the LGBT movement, right?
Well, some of these comments of the tolerant people that so want to champion this cause are pretty amazing, John.
Yeah, why don't you share a couple of them? You got them in front of you?
I got a couple in front of me. I got a Bill McCuddy, who at Bill McCuddy. I'm open-minded, but I'm not sure I can accept Bruce Jenner as a Republican.
Yeah, I'm looking through my notes here. I don't know why I don't have it sitting here in front of me, because I took such effort to put it down on paper here. It was called the article here. Maybe I'll look it up here because we're going to a break, and I'll look it up during the break here, and pull it back up here. I thought I had it in front of me, but I guess I don't. 19 most liberal, people out there, celebrities, I guess, popular people, responses by these people to the fact that Bruce Jenner is, quote, in his own words, a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican. And watch, when you hear the responses of the people who up until that very moment thought Bruce Jenner was going to be the poster child for the LGBT movement, and you're going to see just how tolerant and accepting and how passive and believing and comforting and passionate liberals really are. So having said that, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll continue right here on the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away.
You can catch all our show archives at theconservativesyndicate.net.